Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, girls. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started, shall we? Pew pew pew, all over the place. Ladies and gents, it is another social production. We are doing it. Thank you for joining me once again. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram, follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the full next videos. Check out patreon.com/propcedric if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show. Become a member. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you. If you just joined us today, where can you start? Today could be your first day. It's the first day of the year, January 1st, 2025. It's going to be your year. It'll be our collective year. We've said that about other years, but those years were our years, but this year's also going to be our year too. Oh, all over the place, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, to me familiar, down south in the United States, further down south, Mexico, over there in South America, over there in Chile, you Chileans. I'll get to that later. Over there in Africa, Europe, Asia, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, of course, North Korea as well. I mean, if you get access, Cuba, Venezuela, Jamaica, Wagwan. Over there in Haiti, over there in Singapore, like all over the place, the stands, all the stands, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, India. That's not a stand, but nonetheless. Wednesday, January 1st, motherfuckers, let's get it. Oh, feeling good. I hope you're all feeling good too. And, I'm excited. It's a new year. Lots of exciting events are gonna unravel before our eyes, and we're gonna go through them all together. So whatever you're doing out there, you pussy pounders and you cock connoisseurs, put it away or continue do as you wish. As long as the show is running in the background, in the forefront, it doesn't matter. If you are pounding that puss, if you are, sipping on some cock right there. So you just put it on play, have some fun, and let's get right into it, shall we? Itsy bitsy spider, do you even think about me? I had a little run-in with the spider the other day in the studio, in the apartment studio, in the compound, if you will, in the ginormous compound that is the studio, that is also the apartment. I try to kill it. I try not to kill as many insects, or I don't like, but if it's in the premises, oh man, because you never know. If you're asleep, you never know if they're gonna crawl up your anus, if they're gonna crawl up your dick hole. I sure don't want a little teeny tiny spider going up a dick hole. I don't want that. So unfortunately, sometimes I do have to go out there and just get my hands dirty. But I couldn't kill this one. This one went behind the radiator, and yeah, I'm just wondering if it thinks about me the way I think about him or her. Of course, I don't see genitals when it comes to I don't see sex gender when it comes to animals, like tiny animal. I can't see. This one didn't have a massive penis as opposed to the other spiders. Yeah, because it's easy. Some spiders, they're giant hogs. You see them casting webs and just a giant dong, just swinging, casting a net. But I thought about it. I couldn't kill it. It went behind the radiator and disappeared on me. I don't know where it is. So I'm just sleeping with ease in the evenings, which is nice. Leaving, I don't drool. Sometimes I do when I sleep, a little bit of drool, sometimes. But, over the past few nights, I've just been making sure to keep that mouth shut, keep it closed, because I don't want them, baby spiders nesting in my mouth or in my brain or in my ear hole, or worst off, dick hole. Don't want it, no thank you. But that's what it is. I do wonder if it thinks about me as well, like it saw me. It just crawled behind the radiator. I'm just like trying to get it, but my hands are a little bit too big to reach behind the rails. And what are you gonna do? You live and you learn and you love and you live and you laugh and you live and laugh and love, is what they say. But nonetheless, that's neither here or there. Let's get right into it. Do have a little bit of an eyelash situation. Bear with me. Eyelash situation. Doesn't matter. We'll take one for the team. I will go blind for this podcast if I have. Not really, but you know what I mean. We'll go the full lengths. What's on everybody's minds these days? Many of things, but most importantly is how to get that wet pussy. How to get that pussy wet. Talking wet puss today. Just specifically wet puss. How do you get it wet? Many techniques, of course. You want to start off with a dry puss, first and foremost. You want to dry age that pussy. But how to get it wet? There's many techniques. You can, there's internal methods, there's external methods, there's short term, there's long term. So you gotta ask yourself, what are you trying to do with the puss? Main goal, main objective is to get it wet. How wet? Real wet. I'm talking, drenched. It is a tsunami in here. It is a, better bring a raincoat sort of situation. How to get it wet? One of the best methods to get a wet pussy is, of course, get a cup, get a mug, get a wine glass, get a mason jar, fill it up with water. See puss, toss water on top of it. There you go, wet puss. That's wet puss 101, okay? Easy, basic, anybody can do this. So don't go out there saying to yourself, oh, I can't get that puss wet. You definitely can. All you need is water, which is literally 75%, 80% of the earth is water. So don't sit around and tell me you can't get that puss wet. I believe in you, she believes in you, and we can do it together. So again, grab a little bit of water, put it in some sort of container, sprinkle a little bit just to see. You want to test it first because sometimes it reacts. Test it first. You don't want to have like a, adverse reaction. Most of them are fine with water. They love water. Puss loves water. So toss a little bit of water on top and you'll get it wet. Other methods, of course, you could, water balloons is another great method to get that pussy wet. If you are thinking to yourself, man, I'm not so sure if I can handle cups or mugs or mason jars. It's, get a couple of balloons, fill them up with water, lukewarm water. You don't want it to be too cold. You don't want it to be too hot. I say room temp water, fill it up. When you see the puss, chuck the water balloon at the puss, get that puss wet. That is also another method. Of course, these are again the basics of it. Do not go out there and spend a ton of money on these like expensive balloons. I don't want you to go out there and spending a lot of money on filtered water. This is just water for the puss. You don't need to, it's got to be fizzy water for that pussy's got to be wet with fizzy water. Don't get in your own way and hold yourself back. There's literally water in the tap. Just fill it up and chuck a little bit of a water balloon to the puss, have it explode, puss wet. There you go, you're set. Other methods, of course, this one's a little bit, this one takes a little bit more effort. You're gonna need a, some sort of a squirt gun. You know what I'm talking about? Some sort of a, power soaker of sorts. Fill it up with water, 1 liter, 2 liters, a gallon, wherever you are. Whatever sort of measurement of water you are using, ounces, liters, whatever, it doesn't matter. Fill it up, super soaker, fill it up. Seek the puss that you're trying to get wet. You could surprise. There's the surprise method where you jump in front, catch them from behind. Doesn't matter. As soon as you find it, pump, soak right there, wet puss. That's, of course, water guns. That's another method. Another method to get that pussy. Again, a lot of people think that there's only one way of skinning a whatever animal, whatever the saying is. There's many ways to skin a cat. That's fucking horrendous. I don't know why would you do that, you sick fuck. There's many ways where you skin a bear, which again also like why would you do that? Unless like I'm all for hunting, but like random acts of skinning animals, that's sick. Why would you? But I guess there's something in that. There's a million ways to skin an orange, but we could have easily picked a fruit. A million ways to skin an apple. They could have gone with it, but no, we had to go animalistic. We had to get a little bit of bestiality, if you know what I'm talking about. So nonetheless, there's many ways to do it. Other methods, of course, you could fill up a large bucket. If you just, an old garbage can that you no longer use, or a garbage can that you do use, rinse it out, put some water in it. As soon as you see the puss, there you go, splash it on top of the puss. Puss is wet, mission accomplished. Another method, of course, to get that puss wet. This one's a little bit more traditional. This one's a little bit more, take it out for a walk. Check the weather network. Everybody's got the apps on their phones. When it's raining, if it starts raining, expose puss to rain, ergo wet puss. That's old. That's how our ancestors used to do it. Get that puss wet in the rain. That's what they used to do. So you could always resort to traditional means of getting that pussy wet, and if it worked in the past, we don't need to go ahead and reinvent the wheel. There's a perfect method, and again, there's a million ways to skin the dragon fruit, whatever. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that there's many ways. Do not limit yourself. Other ways, of course, you could get a little, if you've got like a bathtub, if you got a shower bathtub, put the puss in the bathtub, run the water, puss is ergo wet once again. So that's just, a few methods I would recommend. If you want to long-term invest in this game, I would suggest you get like a jacuzzi, not a big one, not one for like, I don't want people spending too much money. These are things that I just want you to be able to use on a daily basis, not just for getting the wet puss, but also, use it when you want to get that wet puss. So if you get a jacuzzi, put the puss in the jacuzzi, wet puss all day, every day. Other methods, of course, you could try, swimming pool. That's another beautiful method to get that puss wet. If you put the puss in the swimming pool, it is automatic wet puss city. So you're wondering, well, I don't have access to a pool. Not a lot of us do. I mean, you got your rec centers, you got your, professional swimming, locations, the little, gymnasiums. You can always take the puss to the gym. If they've got a swimming pool, dump the puss in the water, wet puss, it's shut it down, it's over. You could also get one of those, inflatable pools. You could set it up in your backyard. Nothing big. Again, I don't want people spending too much money. These are all, if you've paid attention from the beginning, this is all DIY shit. I don't want people to, I get it. Pockets are tight. Everybody's, trying their best. So if you don't have access to the pool or the jacuzzi, we just, went through a whole lot of other scenarios where you can actually get that puss wet without really spending that much money. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you see if you see floods, flash floods, pussy in flash floods, pussy is immediately wet, and everybody's happy. Other methods, of course, are out there. You could, traditionally spitting on, but that requires a lot. You'd have to stay hydrated for that. And that's a lot of spit. I mean, you could get it a little bit moist. I'm not sure if you're gonna get it wet, but that's like, but now we're just, going through things with a fine toothpick, fine hairbrush, fine, tooth, whatever, there's many ways to do it, is all I'm trying to say. So don't limit yourself, get out there, get yourself a wet puss and make sure it's drenched. If you could think of other methods, please do write it down, because this is one of the biggest podcasts, one of the biggest shows on planet Earth. Billions, trillions of people are watching. Extraterrestrials are also watching. If you want to contribute and become an active member, leave a comment as how you'd go and make the puss wet. If I've not mentioned a method that you've come up with, please do share. We are a community. We try to get in there together and be supportive of one another. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But let's just get really, let's get into it if we can together. I've heard this somewhere, and I'd like to just share with you, guys and dolls, guys and gals out there, if you will. It's it's a issue that impacts the mostly, I would say, the female population. But again, if it impacts the females, it impacts the males. So I just want to talk about it a little bit, try to make some sense of it together. What am I talking about? I'm talking about perfect set of tits. I'm talking about having a perfect set of tits. If you are blessed with a perfect set of tits, I'm talking juicy melons, just perky, perfect size, areolas, top shelf areolas. I'm talking, perfect circle. I'm talking 360. I'm talking, symmetrical, even. If you are, it's a 10 out of 10 tits, 10 out of 10 tits. But sometimes having these perfect tits, a lot of times I've noticed people have this, it is a blessing and a curse. It is a blessing, and because it comes with a lot of responsibility. Some people, they don't feel like, it's a gift. Of course, it's beautiful, but I don't want it to get in the way. I just want to say, cut it out right here. Do not, just because you've been gifted with a perfect set of tits, it is not your burden to carry alone. It is not your responsibility to have to, juggle around these perfect set of tits so that others can feel comfortable. Let them out. more cleavage, the more cleavage, the merrier. They said that about people. They said that the more the merrier. They said, unless of course it's like you're talking about elevators, then there's a certain limit of people, then it's not. Then it's not more the merrier. There's only 12 people that can fit on this elevator. So, you know, it's great that you're all here, but we're not going to fit 25 on this elevator unless you all want to just drop and die. Or, you know, if it's like a boat, I'm pretty sure boats, you can't say the more the merrier. I mean, even Noah had to take a few of the animals. He couldn't take all the animals, few of each of the animals. You can't just have like, you know, 20 elephants. The ship's going to sink. So it's not, so again, it is, what are you even talking about? It's about saying people say things. And all I'm trying to say is that if you got these perfect set of tits, I remember when I had my perfect set of tits, I was a little bit self-conscious myself. So I just want everybody out there, if you've got these perfect set of tits, don't let it be like, is it my responsibility to protect, you know, society from my perfect? No, it is not your, you know, it is not your responsibility. Let them loose, cleavage it out, push up, bro, push down, bro, put it out there. That's the way nature wanted it to be. If you believe in a higher power, that's the way the higher powers, plural, who knows? That's the way they wanted it to be. So please put it out there. What I recommend is a lot of times people, you know, tend to hunch over. They try to cover, oh, don't mind me here with my perfect set of tits. They'll say that, but don't go in there, straight back. Just walk in any room, whether it's a, you know, place of residence, whether it's a place of business, whether it's a place of entertainment. Lead with your, that's what tits were made actually for, leading. Tits were made, that's why they're in the front. If they weren't made for leading, think about it. They'd be in the back. We wouldn't even be able to see them. If nature, or again, the powers didn't want us to see them, they put them in the back where it's like less visible. So they wanted it to be seen. Whoever was in, you know, the aliens, whoever, you know, genetically modified us or tinkered with our genetics, and just whoever did it, whatever was they wanted it to be seen. So please do not, I've seen ladies trying to just like squeeze a tit all the way around under an armpit. Don't look at me, don't let these tits get in the way of us doing whatever we're doing. It's not getting in the way of whatever we're doing. Tits should be at the forefront. All right, so I'm just saying, if you've got these perfect set of knockers, do not be ashamed, be proud, let them out, let them loose, just let them run wild, just let them breathe a little bit. Again, I remember, yeah, it's you know, it's easy to get in your own head and be like, oh, what are people gonna think about my perfect tits? I remember I had those thoughts. I'm like, what are people gonna think about these perfect tits? Nobody cares at the end of the day, because tits are tits. It's just it's not your responsibility, is all I'm trying to say. Just put it out there. Responsibility is all I'm trying to say. Just put it out there, leave it on a bench, just rest it on like a, you know, if you're at the whatever, if you're at the bus stop, just, you know, sit on a bench and just leave it on top of the bench, just let it rest a little bit. If you are, you know, jogging and you're worried about, are my tits gonna bounce, you know, up and down, is it gonna cause traffic accidents? That's not your concern. So what if people die? Who cares? Your tits are not responsible. People should have their eyes on the road. Unless we're talking like, you know, that if they're blind, then they shouldn't be driving. And then they wouldn't even see your tits then. So that's not on you either. You're like, what about like, oh, if there's, you could save lives. You could literally save lives with tits. I've seen it happen. I've done it myself. Oftentimes I've had to talk people off a ledge by using my tits. Hey, why do you want to climb up on that ledge? I says, I don't know, bills, this, that, and the. I'm like, check out these tits. As soon as they get a sneak peek of the tits, game over. They're downstairs. Everybody's getting a cup of coffee. Everybody's, you know, going for a stroll. Everybody's happy at the end of the day. So it's not your responsibility to tuck them away, put them away, hide them from society just because you think it's going to be a distraction. Oh, we need to get this, you know, business meeting going. Do we? Or could we start the day by staring at some tits for like 5 to 10 minutes and just acknowledging what's really important in life? Ladies and gents, that's a little bit about perfect tits. I just wanted to say it. Please do not hunch over. Straight, you know, just walk straight up with chin up, tits out, proud, and just walk them and take them for multiple walks a day, please. And don't put them on leashes. I've seen too many tits on leashes. It is not good. Let them run wild. They're free range. And, you know, sharing is caring. That's something that I found that was a little bit, it's a little bit personal to me, but I wanted to share with her because, again, if I think about these things, chances are most likely you're thinking about these things too. Share your story of your perfect set of tits. When did you find them? How long did you have them for? What were you doing trying to hide them from society? What were your means of, hiding them? And then what happened when you let them loose? Leave a comment. Ladies and gents, oftentimes people are wondering to themselves, oh, what kind of flavored candy should I get? Oh, should I get a little bit, I'll get peppermint candy. I'll get, strawberry flavored candy. I'll get, coffee flavored candy. I will get, a little bit of cinnamon candy. I will get, candy that's flavored like peaches. You'll say, but these are all traditional methods. But I thought to myself, what does everybody love? What's one flavor that everybody can really, if we want to unite not just cities, not just local municipalities, not just, provinces or states, depending where you're from, not just countries, but if you really want to unite the world, we should come up with one candy flavor that everybody can get behind and comfortably promote. And that's when I thought to myself, my God, it's been right in front of us all along. I'd like to introduce the ultimate candy flavor, and that is the bloody tampon flavored candy. I know, everybody is losing their minds. You're like, how did we miss this? It's been right in front of our eyes the entire time. And it's a damn shame that we've taken this long, but it is 2025, ladies and gents. It is time that we really start to make some moves. I like to say that yes, chocolate is fine, sugar is fine, peaches, strawberries, berries, kiwis, mango flavored, banana flavored, all these fruits and vegetables that you like to put infused candy with, all that is great. But again, if we're looking for one flavor and one flavor only, everybody loves the flavor of a bloody soaked tampon. If we just infuse our candies with a bloody tampon flavor, imagine the barriers we will break. Imagine the boundaries we will cross. People from all walks of life, everybody will be tossing these little pieces of candies in their mouth and just, oh, what is that? Is that nickel? Is that a little bit copper? What is this? It's the most delicious candy there ever will be. And people will just, and I don't want people to be fighting over this. If you see, oh my God, I gotta get my bloody tampon flavored candy, is what people will say. Do not fight over them. As soon as we start mass producing these things, it'll be available to the public on a regular basis. Of course, in the beginning, in the early stages, there might be a little bit of, people might lose their shit just because everybody wants a piece. And I get it. It's, again, one of the most delicious candy flavors that we could potentially have. We've not yet had it. And I could potentially see people losing their minds over this. But please, be cordial, be mindful of each other. I have seen a few videos just surfacing over the past few days because it was Christmas. Again, it is New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. Did we even say Happy New Year's? We did, right? If we didn't, well, then let's get right into it because it's 2025. Happy New Year. Let's queef together through this one and we'll see how it goes, shall we? But I have seen a few videos where it's like in the Christmas spirit, people around the world are videoed fighting over gifts, going to shopping malls. I saw this one video. There's a giant Christmas tree decorated with boxes of, fake gifts, and people just ran amok, pushing the tree over, climbing on top of one another, trying to get these boxes of gifts. Upon opening the boxes, they found that it was only decorated. There was nothing inside. And I don't want people trampling over one another and, just fist fighting and fisting each other over bloody tampon flavored candy. This is, again, we'll start off with a small batch. We will roll it out, but once everybody's on board, and everybody will be on board, we'll get this thing going and everybody's going to be just united once again. It's going to be great. But again, please do not, I don't want people standing in lines outside. There's plenty to go around. You're like, no, I can't get enough of this bloody tampon flavored candy. I can't get enough. Trust me, there's plenty to go around. Everyone will get theirs. Okay, do not punch elderly ladies, do not push children, do not, if you see a person in a wheelchair, don't just roll them down the hill thinking they're gonna get further away from this beautiful, delicious, bloody tampon flavored candy. Everybody's gonna get a piece, ladies and gents. We just wrapped up the holidays. Typically January, February is when everybody starts to feel the pinch, feel the pressures of, you've spent a little bit of money. If you've got the familias, if you've got a loved one, family, friends, if you've spent a little bit, maybe on the holidays, maybe on gifts, pockets maybe a little bit tight. Typically January, February is when everybody's just kind of like, oh, let me just, tighten up this belt a little bit more, try to, save up a little bit more just because I spent a little bit, or maybe I got, carried away, I spent a little bit more than I should have. And people are wondering, how could I save money? How could I save a dime? How could I save $1? Because a pennis saved is a pennis earned. A pennis in your pocket is a pennis. Pennis in your pocket add up. That's a large pennis. That's one large pen. Is that a whole bunch of pennis? Is that penises, or is that just one large penis in your pocket? Doesn't matter. The point is, ladies, you're trying to save. I'm trying to help. So let's help together. One great way of saving money is a lot of people out there are spending money, of course, on contraceptives and condoms. How to, block the unwanted pregnancies. And it could be expensive. Condoms could be expensive. Going on the pill for the ladies could be, both economically expensive, but also maybe, it probably, has its downsides on your, overall well-being. I'm not here to talk about those. I'm all about saving that dollar if we can. All I'm trying to say is, if you're looking to save a couple of dollars, if you're trying to invest in yourself, in your future, instead of buying condoms and investing in, contraceptive methods, I say just dump a load inside her. Just bust a nut inside her. Think about the money you'll save not wasting it on condoms. Think about that for a second. If you are out there just month after month going out there buying pills, buying diaphragms, getting a fella to do welding in your uterus, you gotta put up a wall, nothing gets in, nothing gets out. You have seen people just an afternoon with a whole team of welders in your inner reproductive organs. I've seen it. It could of course, sure, it does work, but it's costly. And I just say, you know what, raw dog it from now on. You will save a ton of money. I've done the math. It adds up. You could definitely, in 5-10 years, you keep doing this, you could put away enough money to buy something. Whatever, a cool bike, a new car, a new house, maybe get some, a vacation. Think about it simply by saying, you know what, forget. And again, it's less plastic too. Could we not all use a little bit less plastic and be a little bit more green? That's why I said to myself, what's one area where we can reduce the use of plastic and save a little bit of money? And that's condoms. So instead of nutting in a plastic bag, which is not environmentally friendly or friendly on your pocket, come inside her vagina, come inside her puss. If you do anal, come inside her butt. Come inside her butt. If she likes it, she likes it. If you like it, you love it. If you love it, you love it. If it's what it is that you come inside her butt. Save a ton of money. Come on her back. Save a lot of money. And come on her face, in her mouth, on her ankles. A lot of people shoot up. That's missed opportunities. The bottom half of the body is mostly missed because people are, it's just positioning really, but aim for the feet, come on her feet, save a ton of money. Literally come on the pillows, come on the mattress, come on the, bed sheets, anywhere except the inside of a condom, and you'll be saving what seems like a little bit in the early stages. It'll add up. You just put that money aside. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. And you're like, what if she gets pregnant? What if she gets pregnant? I thought we were all about saving the money. What if she gets pregnant? What if she doesn't, though? What if she didn't, you can't have, there's no such thing as a free meal. There's no such a thing as a, unless somebody's like doing like a, communal, block party, sort of like barbecue. It's, a fella or a lady with resources is doing like an outreach program, and it's like a block party, and we're, oh, free barbecue, free food. Then I suppose there is a free meal somewhere. Or if there's like maybe there's a food bank, then there you go. There's a free meal right there too. Or what about like, what about you're traveling and you've paid for a ticket to board a plane or a ship, then the meals are it's all inclusive. I mean, technically you did pay for it, but you don't have to pay more. Like, it's all inclusive. You've already paid. That's, so that one, it doesn't, there's no such thing as a free meal, but there's no such thing also as like, oh, I got, it's all inclusive, I got to pay more. There isn't that. You don't have to pay more. The point is, come inside her butt, come inside her vag, and you'll save a ton of money. And that's just right in front of our eyes. That's something everybody can do. So you're welcome, ladies and gents. What else is going on? A lot of people are wondering to themselves, how could I get AIDS? How could I get AIDS? You'll say that, and you're wondering because, it's not what it used to be. Like back in the 80s or 90s, I wasn't around. I mean, came into the world, and I wasn't there for the 80s. I can't say I was there for peak AIDS. It's definitely died down. And you're wondering to yourself, how could I get it? How could I get AIDS? You've heard about it. It's pretty cool. You could get it through means, find somebody who has it. If somebody has it, maybe they're willing to share. Ask. It's always good to ask. If you don't know, ask someone who's got it. If you are wondering, maybe I don't know anybody. Maybe, the world has become a little bit more, individualistic. Maybe it's a combination of technology, just the way we're interacting, that maybe I don't know people. Maybe I can't find somebody who, or maybe you do know people, maybe none of them have AIDS, which is, again, for this purpose, it doesn't help that they don't have AIDS, the people that you do know. I mean, it sucks. Absolutely. You'd think that the people you know, one of them would have AIDS, but none of them do, which sucks for you, because you're like, how do I get it? I would say start by, I'm not going to say you're going to go full-blown AIDS by licking items off the ground, but start there. A little bit of just, if you find like a dumpster in a back alley, start licking all around the dumpster, go inside the dumpster, head first, tongue out, just eat it up, just lick it. You don't need to swallow. All you need to do is just like eat it up, lick it, spit, don't swallow. Swallow if you're going to really want to get it in there, but also, it's a lot to ingest, so I don't want you to get like filled up in like 2-3 minutes. I've had so much garbage, I don't even know if I got AIDS. I don't have any more room for eating garbage in the garbage bin or the dumpster. And if you find any sort of like loose needles in and around the back alley, a lot of times society wants to tell you, don't pick up the needle, don't reuse these used needles that are tossed in and around back alleys. Society will tell you a lot of things. Of course, pick those needles up and jab yourself anywhere in the body. I mean, I'm not saying that they have AIDS, but again, baby step, one step at a time. I'm not saying you're gonna get full-blown AIDS from like sharing needles. There's a good chance you'll get it, but it's not promised. There's no guarantees in life. There are no guarantees in life. So you can go ahead and stab yourself in the arm with a used needle that you're so happy. You're like, oh, finally, a used needle. Another walk in the alley, another dumpster, another trash bin, adventure, and just stabbing yourself with needle after needle. You could go 200 needles deep and still not contract AIDS, which is a low blow if you ask me. But personally, I believe in the power of, if you want it, you can get it. If you really put your mind to anything, if you work hard enough, if you just stay determined. A lot of people will tell you, don't get it, don't go after it. It's because they're low-key, they're a little bit jelly. They want to have all the AIDS to themselves. That's the cold truth right there. So don't listen to the noise. It's all, negative talk, stigma after stigma, pointing fingers and looking at the sources and all the yappity yap. Get it if you want it, okay? Don't let anybody hold you down. I would suggest maybe finding some sort of if you find like a local drug den, somewhere where there's loose people, all right? Hang around, linger, share whatever is being shared. If we're cooking on a little stove, get involved. If there's like a garbage bin set on fire and we are just warming our hands, offer a makeout sesh, offer a just a low-key makeout sesh over the open fire. Again, if there's look for open wounds. Anywhere you see an open wound, I'm not again promising you that you're gonna get it this way just because you don't know. But if you see an open wound, traditionally people will say stay away from, if somebody's bleeding, make sure to wrap it up. Make sure you don't get anything on you. Make sure, especially if somebody's bleeding and you're bleeding, don't mix blood. You'll get it and you don't want to get it. Why would they keep saying it? But think about it, it's probably what I've realized is probably, again, it's low key. They're just trying to keep it all to themselves. That's what they're trying to do. Haters, to be honest with you. So go ahead, and if you see an open wound, if you see somebody just oh, that's a scab on an elbow, just dripping, just blood all over the place, open your mouth, drink it up. Again, no promises, no guarantees, but hey, at least you took a chance. At least you went out there and you could walk away with your head held high, saying that, you know what, I didn't let society deter me. I didn't let people tell me what to do. I did it my way, and I got what I wanted to get. And so there you go, ladies and gents. If you're wondering to yourself, how could I get AIDS in a society in a time where it is extremely difficult to get it, I say to you, hey, we're with you. Not 100%, but we're with you. We don't support it, but we don't put it down either. And that's what I'm just trying to say. If you want to get it, I'm right there somewhere supporting you spiritually, physically, not so much in a sense. And, just from moral support is there. Am I going to be, close by? Am I going to hold your hair everybody's on their journey. I've got my own shit to work on. So no, I'm not going to say I'm going to be walking by you step at a time, but you can do these things on your own. I just want to say I believe in you. Sometimes you have people that, you might not have anybody in your life. And I just want to say, if that happens to be the case, I just want to say you can do it. Lady, fella, you can do it. Ladies and gents, what else is going on in and around the world? Of course, many of things are happening. This one caught my attention because it's just one of those, it's tiny. It's kind of a tiny issue, but it is kind of a bigger, I guess it's I don't know, a microcosm of what the human species is putting out there or capable of, or what we're doing. It's talking about rhinos. I read an article, rhino horns. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no solution apparently to it. Apparently we love rhino horns. No matter what you do to rhinos, we love them. First we started out way back in the day, thousands of years ago. No laws in regards to how humans interact with rhinos and deal with rhino horns. So back in the day, it was just free range. If you see a rhino, if you like it, bring it home. If you want to take the horn, you do that. Eventually, we evolved a little bit and came to realize maybe it's not so nice to take the rhino horn off the rhino. So we stopped, and then we, made it illegal. We did that. And apparently making it illegal, studies have now come out. They are suggesting that making rhino horns illegal apparently does nothing to deter the poachers and the people who collect the rhino horns or consume, ingest, jab themselves with rhino. People, if this is the larger takeaway from all this, is that I learned one thing. I thought about what is it with people who like rhino horns? And it's not even about rhino horns. It's mostly about humanity and what it says about us. what it says about us is that if we want something, if we like something, if we love something, it doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If we want it, we're gonna get it, whether it is legal or illegal, apparently. So now we're having talks. We're saying, you know what? We're gonna just toss our hands up in the air, wave them around like we don't even care, because rhino horns are apparently still being poached, and poor little rhinos, we killed them all. We've killed a lot of them. There's barely any left. Not many rhinos left. Some of them are endangered, and there's a different bunch of them. I'm not going to name all the different rhinos: the black rhino, the white rhino, the horny rhino, the rhino in the wheelchair, the rhino with the tuberculosis rhino, whatever, all kinds of rhinos. Rhino that does parkour. I don't know all the rhinos out there, but I know there's way fewer of them today than there were a few decades ago, and even 100 years ago before that. And what it says about humanity, it says that if we want something, we're gonna get it. And it's just kind of like a reminder for me. I'm just like wondering, maybe, I don't know what the deal is. Could we just, I don't even get it. What do people even use it for? That's the thing. Rhino horns, people, if you think you wanna use it for decorative purposes, or like jewelry, I wish we could just get fake rhino horns. Does it have to be? Why do we do this to the animals that can't really fend for themselves? Like this rhino can't get like a 9 to 5 and pay bills and just like fend for itself. It has a family in the wild, so you take it and you take these horns and it hurts, and it probably kills a few of them, most of them, and in the process. And I believe there's a market for it. There's the decorative, jewelry aspect of it. There's that, aesthetic market of it. And then there's the pseudo health purposes that apparently it has. But studies have been done on these rhino horns, maybe somewhat, and there's no benefit. So some communities may have ingested these rhino horns thinking that they're gonna get, maybe a bigger erection, a big giant erection. Some communities might have consumed them thinking that they're going to be aiding with longevity, and apparently from what I hear, there's no actual proof. So we're just killing rhinos, and we don't give a fuck. We give no fucks. That's one thing that I learned just looking at and also just like a broader perspective, just consuming anything really if we want it, whether again this kind of coincides with the topic of, again, I'm not advocating or condoning anything, but it does kind of remind me of the legality and illegality of certain substances out there. There's pros and cons to both. I'm not saying that we should just all willy-nilly just start selling hair on at the local hair salon. I'm just saying there is that once you make things illegal, it just goes into the black market, and it still gets traction, and it's still there's a market for it, and there's still people dealing it with the rhino horns, unless they're telling us that there's no benefits, but there's like low-key a lot of benefits. Maybe it's the same fucking Jedi mind tricks that they're using to get people not to get AIDS. Maybe it's the same thing. Oh, AIDS is not cool. They'll say that, next thing they're like fucking sitting on surplus of AIDS. So that could, maybe somebody's pulling one of those like, crazy PR campaigns with rhino horns where they're like, no, there's no way you're going to get a massive penis erection. Where low-key, you take a little bit of rhino horn, ingest it, and you get the biggest massive penis and erection. Maybe they want the biggest penis erections for themselves. Maybe that's if there is a reason, if there's a legitimate reason, maybe then, even then, if we got these beautiful giant erections, can we not resort to just pills? I mean, there's plenty of companies that are doing it these days. There's the Blue Chews, there's the Viagra, there's the Allegra, there's the Alexis, I don't even know if these are real companies. I'm pretty sure somebody's out there making Alexis or Allegra, or the Viagra's already out there, the Niagara, the whatever, but just, I don't know, I just felt like, oh, beautiful giant rhinos. Why do we do that? I can't really do anything to stop it. The only thing we could do potentially to stop this is if we put poachers for poachers. So maybe we should do that, because apparently people just, if they want something, they just go get it, even if it means like, wiping out a whole species of animals. I say we put hunters who hunt hunters, poachers, illegal poachers. Hunting people should be, obviously, maybe probably not, not like, shouldn't be legal. But in certain scenarios, if you're having poachers just come about and like, oh, I'm in the safari, I'm in the Africas, I'm in the wherever, I'm in India or wherever they've got rhinos, I don't know. Maybe we should have poachers for poachers, and they can get paid a lot of money. If you see a poacher eyeing a rhino, you've got the license to maybe, just kind of like, maybe don't kill them, but like maybe like, just kind of like graze their ankle, make it like uncomfortable for like, oh, that person's going to be uncomfortable for like at least a week or two. If you graze the ankle, because a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you just get them in the thigh? There's more, there's more chance of you getting them in the thigh. There's more, or get them in the ass. Yeah, you could do that, but like, have you ever had like a scrape or a scratch or like something, just kind of like, giving you, if something, if you're like running around and there's like, loose barbed wire and you just scratch an area where it's like, bone and skin are very close, like the ankle, it is uncomfortable. You will go ahead and rethink all your life choices. I remember 95, 96, I scratched my ankle and I took some time and I thought about things deeply on a level that I've never actually sat down and thought about before, which made me realize, hey, you really want to get people thinking about something, fucking scratched their ankle, like just grazed an ankle, just, oh, a paper cut on the ankle, oh, it's over. So make rhino horns, or what, we put decoy rhinos, fake rhinos is the way. You shoot a rhino, the rhino starts running towards you, gets close to you, fake decoy rhino explodes, killing the poachers. Boom, right there. I think we just, decoy rhinos, dude. Why didn't we think of this together? It's just because we are coming up with many of ideas, and a lot of them are more important, such as the bloody tampon flavored candy, which I know preoccupies everybody's minds, but there's plenty of us that we could all, again, teamwork makes the dream work. So decoy rhinos that start, jogging or sprinting towards you upon being shot at and explode close by. Maybe not so close by that it'll like kill a person, but close enough to like maybe have to have a limb amputated. So that'll give you also stuff to think about. Decoy rhinos, that's what, maybe we should go to Shark Tank with this. Shark Tank, do you like animals and saving lives like of animals? Probably hurting some people in the process, but nonetheless, Shark Tank, if you're in store for saving and fake animals, and we could, holy shit, we could actually go fake decoy animals for all animal species that are endangered. A cool monkey that's fucking endangered, decoy monkey, poachers go in, decoy monkey explodes. Jellyfish, endangered jellyfish, getting close to the jellyfish, want to poach that jellyfish, decoy jellyfish, jellyfish explodes. Right there, your intestines are all over the floor. I think decoy animals is the way to go in 2025. Gorillas being separated from their gorilla families, crying in their gorilla language, saved by fake decoy gorillas that'll get close to you upon being shot at and explode. This could be the next, they say it was the locomotive engine or the, combustion engines, and then, the internet. This could be the next internet. This could be even bigger than AI. This could be the next AI. Decoy animals that explode upon being shot at. Like, fucking invest now. You don't want to be like, oh, I missed out on this, like I missed out on the internet, or I missed out on the whatever people miss. I missed out on Bitcoin. Decoy animals is the next Bitcoin. Decoy exploding animals is the next fucking Ethereum. So yeah, think about it. Exploding animals, right there, dude. Saving animals, fucking A. We did it together. No We did it together. Stop it. I don't want to take full credit for this. I don't want to be the guy that takes full credit. I did not single-handedly just save rhinos, dude. All right, fine. If you keep insisting that I single-handedly save not just rhinos, but all endangered animals because I introduced fake decoy exploding animals into the market. All right, fine. But I like to think that we did it together. I'm just, it takes all of us. I don't want to, I mean, all right, guys. All right, enough. I did it. We did it, though. You did it. No, you did it. I did it. Is what you're saying. But again, it's, you did it. You did it out there. I'll tell you this, I couldn't have done it without you. I mean, I low-key kind of did. I did. Kind of like, if we're being purely honest, if we're just going to have an eye-to-eye, if we're going to have like a moment of truth sort of thing, I did just come up with decoy exploding animals that save endangered animals. I mean, leave a comment if you'd like to be a part of the, acceptance speech. I'm not going to say, I'm going to mention everybody's name because there's too many of us. I mean, we did it, but low-key, we know who. But again, team effort. As long as the animals are saved, I don't care who gets the credit. You can get the credit. It's fine. It is also, we are just coming out of the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, Christmas is the big one. Of course, this year, I believe Hanukkah fell on the same time date. I'm not quite sure. But it did. It reminded me that I wish I was, because I love all people all around the world, and I wish I was a little bit low-key. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I was, just because you see certain things, you wish you kind of had access to them. One of those things happens to be, I wish I, I don't want to say I want to be like, I don't want to like becoming Jewish is difficult. I'll say that because like it's not an easy one to get into. The other Abrahamic religion is a little bit easier if you want to. One of the major reasons that I'd like to be become Jewish is because I low-key really kind of like the hats. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the hats. I like what you're doing. The yarmulkes or the kippahs or the yarmulkes. And good luck spelling yarmulke. Because I did not know how to spell yarmulke. I just try spelling it. You're gonna get it wrong. There's an R in there. Apparently there's an R in there. I think I'm still not sure. Apparently it's Y-A. There's an R in there. It's yarmulke. Doesn't matter. Good luck spelling it. You will get hemorrhoids, but don't hurt yourself. There is spell check, of course. But I'm just letting you. I'm not a great speller. I've never been a great speller. I'll be honest with you. There's only so many things between coming up with the greatest candy flavor and saving animals. You want me to fucking watch I spell every word? I'm not in that game. But the point is, I do want the yarmulkes, to be honest with you. But I thought I could make it better, which is why I wanted to talk about this. Have you guys talking to my beautiful Jewish brethren and sistren, mostly the brethren here, because the female Jewish ladies, they don't wear the yarmulkes. Spelling of shit. You're putting an R in there. You are. That is. Who puts an R in yarmulke? There's no R in there. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, I thought to myself, why have one yarmulke when you can have unlimited yarmulkes? A lot of times, I've seen people, especially in like Toronto, I've seen people, my beautiful Jewish brethren and sisters, walking when it gets like during fall, winter time, you get the winds and it's gusty out there. I've seen them flap in the wind. I thought, you know what, if you lose it, it sucks. You're like, I pin it down in my hair, or I pin it down in my head, I'm not gonna lose it. Fair enough, but what if you had unlimited yarmulkes anyway? But what I would like to do if I were Jewish, when I become a full Jewish person, I would, unlimited yarmulkes, but also why are we not using them to kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you flick a card, remember when you were younger, you used to flick cards into maybe a hat or like a bucket or just at people? Who knows? It doesn't matter. You could flick it at people or things or items, not for like, don't go out there getting crazy. But I'm saying it's kind of like ninja stars, but Jewish, which is, I guess yarmulkes are the equivalent. If I know anything about the Jewish faith, is that yarmulkes are are the ninja stars of Jewish people. And I wish I had that, because I would, and as soon as you take, I'm talking unlimited though, you make it unlimited. So as soon as you remove one and kind of like, just flick it, gets replenished by itself, magically, unlimited. Oh, bad guys taken out by the yarmulke. Unlimited yarmulkes. Yarmulkes. They might even be kippas. I don't even know how they're spelled. That's crazy that you put an R in there, but I'm not gonna focus on that. We're not gonna focus on the spelling of yarmulkes. All I'm trying to say is that unlimited yarmulkes, so that you could just, right there. Did somebody just, steal a bunch of stuff from a jewelry store? Hey, stop right there. Right there, dude. Catch him in the ankles, just have him like trip and fall and like break a tooth, chip a tooth. Oh, have him interviewed on the 6 o'clock news. What were you thinking when you were trying to rob that jewelry store? I wasn't thinking of that. They'll say that. Who stopped you? Right there, the unlimited, bottomless yarmulkes. Right there, dude. We could even make it into a game. Do you like darts, but want to like play with objects that are not as sharp? Because when you and sharp objects mix, well, that is a walking fire hazard, and people need to put their hazmat suits on. So let's not get you near sharp objects. But what you could be using is the unlimited bottomless pit of yarmulkes. Just right there. I wish I had yarmulkes. I could definitely put one on. It wouldn't hurt to put one on. I could definitely put one. I could put on any hat if I want to. Technically, nobody's stopping me. I could do it. It would just feel like, unless I get like an honorary yarmulke. But I like to give this gift to, people with hats. So that's one, but I also think about how other people could be using their hats. I just thought about this one. My Hindu friends, my Indian friends, or anybody who wears a turban, have you thought about working a mechanism where somebody grabs the end of the turban, unwinds it, and then lets go, and then you start spinning like the Tasmanian devil? I've seen this happen a couple of times, and I believe it holds true that if you are to pull on the end of the cloth of a Hindu hat attire, and if you were to just peel it back and let it go, the beautiful Indian or Hindu fella or lady, mostly fellas, I believe they're the ones that wear they will spin like the Tasmanian devil. That's crazy. Try it out, ladies and gents. What else is going on in and around the world? I'll say this. This one just got me a little bit, I heard about this and I was ready to tear it down. I was ready to tear it all down. What am I talking about? And it's a good thing it got solved. It is a good thing it got solved, because if you don't know, you might know. But if you don't, I'll let you know what you should know that you might have not known. Keanu Reeves is not just a national treasure for Canada, or I know you guys like to claim him as like, oh, he's ours, he's in the US, so he must be ours, everything great is ours because he's in the US now, he's ours. He'll say that. He's Canadian, first and foremost, Canadian. And although, yes, he is a national treasure for both Canadians and Americans, of course, and we are all but one large country. But having said that, he's a global treasure. He's beyond. And somebody went out there and stole his $10,000 Rolex watch sometime last year, and it just recently got found. We found it together, and I was about to just, because when I hear this, I hear this kind of stuff, it gets to me, because then low key it bumps him out. He doesn't put it out there, because first of all, he's a beloved actor who's out there making beautiful movies. You may remember Keanu Reeves from such films as Speed, from such films as The Matrix 1. You may remember him as Neo from The Matrix 2. You may remember him from such films as Three Matrixes. You may remember him from such films as Matrix 4. Was there 4? You know, to be honest with you, after 3, any movies that kind of just, it goes back to 1 for me. It just all becomes 1 after 3. I don't remember if there was a 4th one, to be honest with you. It kind of feels like, I feel like inside me, if I'm really being honest with it feels like there was a 4th one. I'm not sure. I'm going to say yes. You may remember him from such films as Matrix 4. You may remember him from such films as John Wick 1. You may remember him from such films as John Wick 2. There definitely was 2, because I actually recently just watched John Wick 1. And I'm about to watch John Wick 2 as well. 2. I'm about to watch John Wick 2 as well. John Wick 3, for sure there was a 3rd one in there, of course. 3, you may remember him from such films as John Wick 3. And you may remember him from such films as, again, after 3, I'm not quite sure if the 4th one has already come out, or if they're making the 4th one, or if they've made the 4th one and the 5th one. So, but I after 3 of any movie, I go back to it's just one large franchise for me. But that's aside the point. The point is that he is a beloved actor and a good guy. And if I get news that he may be considering quitting acting because some dickface just went and stole his favorite Rolex watch, I have to put out the message and say that Keanu, do not stop acting and making great movies. No, do not stop making great movies. I will find your watch and I was about to go out and find this watch. Where was it, you ask? We found it together. We found it, and this one I'm not going to take full credit for, despite being at the forefront and the tip of the spear of many of movements, many of inventions, but again, I'm not trying to, this is about us enjoying a good human being out there, just putting out great work, touching people in a good way. The point is that I let the message be heard. I just kind of let it be heard out there. I'm like, Keanu Reeves, do not stop acting. I will find it. And if I don't, we will make sure that somebody out there finds it. And I was ready to provide my services. And I just want to say this does not stop at Keanu Reeves. I've heard about this, that apparently when celebrities or, beautiful people leave their residence and go off somewhere, whether they're on work or on vacation, burglars, thieves, get in and thieve your stuff. Just take your stuff when you're out there, apparently, when you're vacationing. So, public service announcement, you could say that I guess don't, maybe from now on, henceforth, moving forward, do not announce to people that you're going on vacation. Low-key, announce that you're going on vacation. Fucking don't. Wait till people come in. Exploding decoy rhino in your living room, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe fill in the blank, whoever. Keanu Reeves has a real rhino. Let's steal Keanu Reeves' rhino. They'll get close to the rhino. You're on the 2nd or 3rd floor watching from a secret bedroom with a lot of video cameras pointed at the dirty scumbags who have just crept into your home trying to do a creepy crawly motherfuckers. And the next thing, we're gonna take this rhino, get your backpacks, get a forklift. We're gonna take this rhino. They get close to the rhino. Rhino explodes. Decoy rhino to the rescue. Fucking saving people's lives, dude. This is more than animals. This is more than humanity. This potentially could be the thing that lets the aliens know that we're fucking ready, motherfuckers. You wanna get in here and watch over us? We come in peace unless you don't. Unless you want some of this shit. Unless you want to get tit slapped with this giant perfect tit, right? I will slap the shit out of you with my tit, dude. I will slap an alien with my tit should they just show a teeny tiny bit of aggro emotions, any sort of, if I see a misunderstanding, if I'm the first person for whatever odd reason to interact with an alien, if I'm telling you right now, if I see even the slightest bit of aggro energy, I will slap my tit in their face just to let them know what's up. Unless I'm reading their energy and it's not aggro whatsoever, then like kind of low key, like my bad, but I'm sure we can sort it out. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're leaving your homes, do not announce it to people that you're leaving your homes. If you are, get the decoy exploding animals. Or low key, I kind of want you out there to be investing in, get a clone of yourself. Make a few clones of yourself. You know what I'm talking about? This is black market shit. Oh, we don't have clones. We don't have them. We've had them we must have them. We for sure have had them. Dolly the sheep. Come on. It's been so many years, decades now. We have clone humans. Just put it out there. Get a clone. I'm not saying everybody should get a clone, but if you could afford it, get a clone. You know, fill it up with whatever liquids or serum that they're filled up with, and just let them run naked in your house while you're vacationing and on work. Kind of dose them up on like, you know, substances so that they're not all like thinking they're like you, like fully you, because you don't want them to, you know, have interactions with people and pretending to be you. That would suck if they go around like, you know, signing on to jobs that you'd normally say no to, or starting relationships that, you know, you had no intention of starting. You're already in a relationship. They're going out there and starting relationships, and next thing you know, you're in the doghouse just because your clone wanted to get his dick sucked. So I know a lot of stuff that we need to cover together, but essentially I was just ready to let people know, not just Keanu, but anybody else out there, if you've got millions of dollars, or just if you are wealthy, and if anybody steals from you, I'm just letting you know my services are available. I will flip over an entire nation state. I will ruin village. If I find out, we found out that the actual watch was found in Chile, back to Chile once again. So I don't know how it ended up in Chile, and I don't frankly want to know at this point, because I was about to just go ahead and burn an entire, I don't care. I will burn an entire village down. Mothers, children, young men who are about to just join the workforce. If you steal from Keanu Reeves, I will topple an entire government if I have to get it back. Because he's first and foremost Canadian, all right? Second, American. Third, but like kind of like first, this global sensation. I will burn the entire nation down if I have to. But luckily it didn't come to this. So I just like to say, if you're going out there on vacations and whatnot, like low-key, be careful. Don't kind of like advertise it. I know most people don't even advertise it. These dirty scumbags are on the prowl. They're just looking for an opportunity. So, which is why you should just invest in these exploding animals, decoy animals that I've invented. So to save yourself, so to protect. You could leave your children at home with exploding decoy animals, and rest assured, yes, they'll miss meals because they're infants. There's nobody there to cook for them. But should anyone break in and try to get close to your baby and the animals that they think are lucrative and will sell well on the black market, they will explode. And okay, maybe don't leave your kids near the nearby. Okay, maybe just take your kids with you. Leave a decoy tiger or a chimp in your living room. And I'm telling you right now, you'll come back exploded, limbs all over the place, your jewelry, your cash still intact. You will definitely have to get rid of a few video camera footage just to, I mean, we don't want to burden anybody with like, oh, are these dead bodies over here? Are these like missing, you know, people? What's going on? They're bad guys. They're scumbags. Who cares? All right. So let's just pull this in together. We can do it. I'm just letting you know, if anybody fucks with Keanu Reeves's jewelry or anybody else that I happen to enjoy their movies or their art, whether it's music, I will ruin you. I will topple governments. I'm telling you right now, burning entire villages down if I need to get whatever jewelry. And by the way, I believe in the UK, a home got ransacked, a luxurious home in a luxurious neighborhood in the UK, and upwards of $10 million or maybe pounds. A lot of money, jewels were stolen, and I'm just letting you know. If you kind of like, just give me like where you think it might be, and I will just ruin that place. Like, give me like just a rough idea where you think it might be, who you think might have stolen the goods, and I don't even care if it's not the right. I will go through a neighborhood, just torch the entire neighborhood, and I will find your expensive jewelry. What else is going on? Of course, this one is a little bit of it's a beautiful thing, actually. It's not, it's bittersweet. This one is, a former president, a beautiful president. I'm talking about Jimmy Carter of the United States, 39th president of the United States, just passed away. He was 100 years old. Rest in peace. Jimmy Carter was the 39th president, which makes him, for those of you who don't know, that's the president, right before the 40th or right after the 38th. So if you don't know, now you know. Jimmy Carter, 100 years old, rest in peace. He wanted you to know that, Jimmy Carter, or James, as I like to call him, as he liked to call me, Rob, and I like to call him James, as we had that kind of rapport. James Earl Jr., I believe, maybe, if I'm recollecting that correctly, or Jedge, as I like to call him, Jedge, James Earl? I might be completely wrong about that one, but it doesn't matter. If it feels right, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say that yes, his middle name was Earl. So and he was a junior, and Jedge is what I like to call him. And it doesn't matter. Jimmy Carter was a fan of the show. He was first and foremost, he was a true patriot, an American through and through. We had, it wasn't, I'm not going to say that we were like, I'm not going to say like we were besties or anything like that. We don't really, a busy man, former president, also older, wiser, doesn't have, but he was a fan of the show. And he wanted all Americans, not just all Americans, all people around the world he was a peaceful man. He was known for his wisdom, he was a caring man. He was very much grounded. No ego, this man, no ego, zero negative ego. The ego deficit, we were in the, ego was depleted in this beautiful gentleman. But nonetheless, he was a beautiful American, and he was always rooting for America, and he was always rooting for this show to become even a bigger show than it already is. And he just wanted to let you know out there that if you like America, if you like the world, if you live in wherever country, if you love yourself, and then you should just subscribe right now and make the difference that is you. Become the change that keeps changing. The brief, interactions that might have, I'll say this, he was a very understanding gentleman. He was a very understanding man. He was, I let it out there. I put it out there that I'm, very much, because that's the thing. I know I'm not, I said to him, I'm like, if I could just, James, if I could say a few things, I let him know that I'm trans. And he was in full support of that. I'm talking right body, wrong place. And he was fully supportive. He was fully supportive of my transition, of being in the right body, in the wrong place. He's like, I get it. I'm like, do you, James? He said, I do, son. I do. You just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, James, this means so much to me. You're bringing tears to my eyes. Of course, at that time, I had just finished peeling some onions. So some might say that the tears were caused by the onions, but that's not to take away from this heartfelt interaction. Jimmy Carter was a fan of comedy, and most importantly, was one of my biggest fans, and he loved America. And if you want to, again, just show a little bit of love for your former president, our former president, Jimmy Carter, who lived up to 100. His last wishes was for everybody to subscribe now. I mean, I didn't say this. You guys didn't have the chance to hear it, obviously, because everybody's busy with the holidays and, you know, looking at ways to save money, which I've already provided you a few tips on how to save money. I mean, God, take. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, you can just subscribe now. That's what Jimmy wanted you to do, okay? Rest in peace, a true patriot who bled red, white, and blue. Red, white, and a lot of people just do like one of the three. This guy and this guy too, fucking through and through. And many people say that they're Americans, but I'm telling you right now, if you're not going out into your backyard and transforming into an eagle and just fucking just grabbing a little rabbit and bringing it back home for the local family barbecue, then I guess, you know, then you're not as American as you thought you were. So go ahead and subscribe now. I mean, that's just what Jimmy would have wanted for you to do. And that's, you know, 100 is good. It's a good age. It's a good age. It's a good age. That's a long, full life. I love that. And if we could just get a couple of gunshot fire salutes. How many do we do? 50 for each state? Do we do the gunshot salutes? I'm going to leave that up to you. So go ahead and shoot some guns into your ceiling wherever you are, whether you're at home, whether you're at work. Just shoot up into the ceiling to commemorate the former president, Jimmy Carter. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring us to our final component of the show for today. Of course, this one just got me kind of, I was ready to just make a scene, and I'm not really about making scenes. I heard this one. It comes from the chess world. Magnus Carlsen is one of the world's most famous chess players. A Schlayer, that's a chess player. And he was in a tournament, or maybe a couple of days, give or take a few days ago. I don't know exactly when. I can't keep track of everyone's whereabouts exactly, because I'm not that guy. Again, inventing animals that are decoy, that'll explode right in front of the dirty scumbags who have no respect for livestock. Preventing theft from beautiful people. I'm sorry, I don't know where everybody is all the time. But he was in a tournament. And the governing body for chess, they said, Mr. Carlsen, Magnus, that's his name, right? So many names that I gotta remember. Magnus Carlsen. Am I saying that? Okay, Tucker Carlson, different person. Magnus Carlsen. I'm saying it sounds right to me. Carlsen, Magnus Carlsen, right? Right. Of course, it feels good here. Then you know who I'm talking about. Beautiful champion of chess who does all of it. He's won most of the games, chess games, sporting events. And recently, over the past few days, he was in another tournament, a chess tournament. And the governing body came and said, Mr. Carlsen, if that is your real name, Magnus, let's just call him Magnus for the sake of continuity and everybody kind of being on board. They said, Magnus, if you're going to play in this chess game, you're going to have to take your pants off. He was wearing these beautiful jeans, and they're like, Magnus, naked now. Take it off, Magnus. They said that. Now we can sit around and ask ourselves why. We might try to find reason for things that are really not logical or reasonable, thus making the task just a moot. And don't go out there trying to find reason for these horrendous acts of human aggression. When somebody's just putting their heart out there and they're just trying to move a couple of pieces on a chessboard from black to white, from white to black, up, down, diagonal, circles? I don't think so. Nonetheless, you ask him, you interrupt the games, the sporting event, and want to see him in the nude. The audacity, the perversion that has taken over chess, that you think you can just go and ask one of the greatest chess players to just get naked in front of you just because you want to see his penis, just because you want to see Magnus's dong. You sick fuck. What is the reason why I don't even want to know why you asked him to take off his pants, but no means no, governing chess buddy of whoever's governing the chess community. You sick perverts. You want Magnus Carlsen to remove his jeans and he's not wearing any underwear, or maybe he is. You want to see him in his tighty whities or his boxer briefs. You want to humiliate a man and watch him play in his undies or in the nude because you've got some sort of sick reasoning in your mind that you think it's fun to belittle humans and ask them to take off their pants. And do you know this is a family gathering? Do you know there's people out there? This is an international chess tournament. And you're trying to expose a man's legs, skin, dermis for everybody to see. What if he's got ashy knees? And you're like, he can't have ash. You prejudiced son of a bitch. White people can get ashy too. It's just less visible, okay? All right? Let's, with our preconceived notions of who may or who may not be able to get ashy here, you wanted to see his nuts so you could get off in the back. Well, guess what? I think we just kind of nipped it in the bud. I don't know what happened, but I think you realized the disgusting mistake that you just went out there and made, and you wanted to see this man play chess naked, which I'm for. But at least let people know that this is going to be a nude chess tournament beforehand so that they know what they're, so they shave or they, trim if that's what they wish, or they grow it out. So at least they have a chance to fully grow it out. Give them 3 months, you sick fuck. You just want a person to take off their pants all willy-nilly and be able to Queen Gambit that shit. Whoever was in charge may still be in charge. I'm not sure. The reasons behind it may be unknown to the masses, but we know what you did out there. We know what you were thinking. You want to see some nuts? You're gonna get some nuts. But also, what about ladies? You discriminatory son of a bitch. You don't think that there's hot ladies with beautiful legs? You just go out there, oh, it's a man's world, let the man take off his pants, nuts in your face. What about there's a lady with beautiful labias who also plays on the checkered board? What if? And you just want to say that men are supposed to play naked? It's 2025, you son of a bitch. I don't know what happened, but I think they figured out that they made a mistake and they told him, you know what, keep your pants on, Magnus, keep it on. Don't take it off, keep it on. And Magnus returned to the tournament and everything's settled. And I just want to say, I'm glad that everything got settled because I was ready. Just a phone call away. You don't have my number. I'm just a text away. You could just reach me. I'm just a DM away on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Become a member because Jimmy Carter would have wanted you to. Jimmy Carter also wanted me to let you know that if you're not subscribing, well then, do it for the red, white, and blue. And also the endangered animals. He loved animals more than anything. And of course, if you really want to truly support your boy and watch this snowball of a show, just keep on snowballing down the hill. Go on to patreon.com/RobSadry and become a member. And tell your family and friends. Get out of here. Peace.